Working to turn a blue district red here in Texas. It's Congressional District 20. Our special guest is Kyle Sinclair. Welcome to Saving America. This is Dr. David D. Shine, your host. Kyle Sinclair is running for Congress for a district now held by a Democrat, with the borders of the district greatly revised. It largely covers the western part of the greater San Antonio area. His campaign has been endorsed by a long list of conservative organizations and well-known Republican leaders. Kyle's a healthcare executive who's presently CEO of post-acute care Warm Springs Thousand Oaks Hospital. He has a terrific educational credentials, Bachelor of Science in Health Administration Service, the minor in military science, graduated magna cum laude with his Master's of Healthcare Administration from Ohio University. He also has obtained his Lean Six Sigma white belt. He has, with his wife, 8 children, beats my family. I'm the oldest of 7 kids, and we will, it's not a contest, Kyle. So it's delightful to have you for his first appearance here on Saving America, Kyle Sinclair.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here, and thank you for sharing the acclimates, but that's not what it's about. So I appreciate your input.
Well, we like to have people running for office who've actually done something in their life. One of the things America is suffering from right now is we seem to have a lot of career politicians, and frankly, it's a bipartisan comment. We've got some people on the Republican side who've been in office too long, and we've got a whole lot of Democrats who've never had a real job. I mean, very well-known politicians who, if you look back, you can't find anything they ever did that actually was designed to support the economy.
Yep, I'd agree. And I keep saying if that my opponent, incumbent Joaquin Castro, had been doing his job, I wouldn't be running. I mean, the toll of stepping down from a career or pausing a career. And one of the things I keep saying to the campaign is I'm not going to DC for a career, right? I have a career. I'm going to DC to help this country and to fight some of the major issues that I believe in. So absolutely.
Sounds fantastic. As you know, we do 3 questions when we interview people, and let me ask you that first one. So what caused you to take on this tough task of turning what do we call a red district blue? A blue district red, but let me put it in the right direction.
Yeah, no, and I would say, it started in the 2020 election for me, and seeing kind of the direction of the country. I saw it then, and what happened. I started getting involved in the congressional race down here in Texas of District 23, and then started getting active in the party, and then active amongst the grassroots clubs and women's clubs. And at that point, I realized, after serving in America, growing up in America, the same America I love and served in is not the America we currently live in. And I'm one of the individuals that I can't sit back and complain unless I do something about it. So, talking with my wife and family, it was a decision to fight a district that has not had a good conservative Republican ever truly put together a campaign against District 20. And we've done that. And the thing I kept telling my team and everybody is, if I'm going to run in District 20, I'm going to make this race national. And that's been part of my goal, is to bring the national support and help, because Kyle's not going to beat Castro, but Kyle, with national support and grassroots level efforts, we can flip this seat. So that's what we're doing, and one of the reasons why I'm running.
Fantastic. Question number 2, if elected, what are your plans for your first term, and what changes will you advocate for?
Yeah, I think there's a lot. I have some definitely poll issues and stuff as I've been talking to the constituents of District 20. There's a lot of main core issues that I'm very tapped in and aware of. But for me, a big passion is healthcare. Out of 535 members of Congress and Senate, there's only one person that has actual hospital administration. One. That's one senator. In Congress, we have 435 members. On the Republican side, we have 14 members that are part of the physician caucus. And most of them are physicians, dentists, or pharmacists. So who better to fix a major problem in this country in healthcare are those who actually have sat in the seats and dealt with it on a day-to-day basis. And so healthcare is a top priority. Securing our border, top priority. Helping the economy, as you alluded to, people that have who have real world experience. That's a significant difference. And then the big one for me in San Antonio is getting after crime and the George Soros-backed DAs. San Antonio was 2021 was the deadliest homicide year we had in 27 years. So those are some of the big core issues and things that I want to focus on.
Well, in terms of looking at healthcare, how do you see the development in healthcare? Because a lot of people in Texas have complained about surprise billing and things that are not in their insurance plans. And I've recently been approached by a really top-notch colleague here in Houston, whose daughter, unfortunately, teenage daughter, got into the drugs. She's at a rehab center, and for some reason, her insurance company, his insurance company covering his daughter, has not picked it up. So he's in a real quandary.
Yeah, and I would say, I mean, I find it on a personal level myself. My son had surgery and got hit with a surprise bill I knew nothing about, and I used my own strategy for that. But I think price transparency is a huge key to healthcare. I know President Trump tried to address it, did not have a lot of meat behind it, and so there's not a lot of change in behavior of the hospitals or insurances. But I'm working with Texas Public Policy Foundation. They're a big think tank in the state of Texas and one of the best in the U.S., particularly on healthcare reform. We need some changes, and price transparency is one key aspect of that. What I will say in preface, and even going back to the original part of the question, is America's healthcare system is the best and the worst in the world. And when you realize that there's so much good to it, but we have a lot of things we need to fix and focus on. And it will take bipartisan level approach to it. But here's the reality. Healthcare does not care if you're rich or poor. It does not care if you're black or white or any nationality. It doesn't care if you're young or old, or it doesn't care. It touches every single human being and multiple times throughout your life. So this should be an effort that we use as a bipartisanship to maybe bridge some of these divisive gaps on how to fix healthcare.
All sounds very positive to me. How can our audience get more information about you?
Absolutely. I'm all over social media. If you look at any of my congressional sites, I have Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. I even have a TikTok channel. So all over social media. Website is Kyle420. That's KYLEFOR20.com. You can see a list of stances. You can see who's endorsed me, pictures, etc. But follow me on social media. I'm very active on that. I'm very active in the campaign trail. So we post and put stuff out multiple times per day on issues that are impacting District 20.
Sounds great. And I have personally linked up with you on LinkedIn, which is my main social media site. And like others, I'm on Facebook, Twitter, Getter, and Instagram. Yep. So I'm glad to join you there and to endorse some of your posts and things like that. Kyle Sinclair, it's been great having you on Saving America. This is Dr. David D. Shine. Thank you for joining us. And please subscribe if you've enjoyed this episode on your favorite platform.